Here we're going to go over the larger structures of the brain. So to start, we are currently viewing the brain from the front. This long, deep fissure here is called the longitudinal fissure, and it divides the right and left hemispheres of the cerebrum. So here we have the right hemisphere of the cerebrum and the left hemisphere of the cerebrum. The hemispheres are further separated into lobes. These are conveniently named after the skull bones that they sit next to. The most anterior lobe is the frontal lobe, shown here. This lobe is primarily responsible for executive functioning. Moving posteriorly, we then have the parietal lobe, which is responsible for integrating sensory information. Continuing further back, we then have the occipital lobe, which helps us with vision. We then have this lateral and inferior portion, which is called the temporal lobe. This interprets sound and smell. On the outer surface of the cerebrum, we have these bumps and grooves. The grooves are called sulci, or sulcus for singular. We can remember these because we sulk in the sulcus when we're sad. The opposite of the grooves are the ridges. These are called gyri, or gyrus for singular. Some of the gyri and sulci have specific names. To start, we have the central sulcus here. Just anterior to the central sulcus, we have the precentral gyrus. And then just posterior to the central sulcus, we have the postcentral gyrus. So starting front to back, we have the precentral gyrus, the central sulcus, and then the postcentral gyrus. Another notable structure is the lateral sulcus that is shown here. This is found on both lateral sides of both hemispheres and is again shown here, and this separates the frontal lobe from the temporal lobe. The cerebellum is the lower portion of the brain, seen here. Cerebellum. This connection right here is called the vermis, and it separates the cerebellar hemispheres. So here we have the right cerebellar hemisphere and then the left cerebellar hemisphere.